That's there. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to the Gecko. That is right. We are looking at another Ark of Osiris, the 5th one of the day we stream. That's right. This weekend we have streamed 5 Ark of Osirises. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like me casting Ark of Osirises, make sure you smash the like button on these streams as you guys slowly start trickling in. Welcome, Edward. Welcome, Carla. Welcome, Zymer. I've never seen your name before. Welcome to the stream, Bapu. How you doing, man? I was awake today to play Ark in I'm awake today to play an Ark in 5 minutes. Bapu, I wish you good luck. It's 2 a.m. My man, you're pulling in to play for your team. That's awesome news. I didn't wake up this time around at 5 a.m. to cast an Ark. That's the only one we missed this week. But yeah, it's gonna be a wild thing. We're gonna do this every weekend, as many Ark of Osiris as possible. We have finally started setting up the Ark of Osiris League. You guys saw myself and Chisco duo casting 2 Ark of Osirises this weekend. It was very exciting. Hopefully we'll get into a groove, do a few more of these next week as well, and hopefully more content creators will join us as we expand the Ark of Osiris League in a big way. A video will come out sometime this week, I hope, explaining the process of being part of the Ark of Osiris League. So stay tuned for that. Bapu, I wish you very much luck. A lot of luck, my friend. I hope that you guys win it and it's an easy fight for you, so you can really quickly get your solo points and come back to watch the stream. Good luck, my man. We are 2.5 minutes away from the Ark of Osiris from Kingdom 33. We are hosted by Virtus Mortis. And it's about to send us to the damn leader, isn't it? Oh, no, this time it didn't. Nice, because I already did. Oh, well, there it is. And here I thought I got away with it. There's our leader. Bam. Mrs. Smith is the leader, apparently. And we're going to go look at the alliance a little bit more in depth. It's a 918 million power alliance, so they're up a little bit above the average right here. Let's go look at the warriors they have. I see 224 million power players. Do we have any tier 5s involved in here? I don't think so. We have a 33 million power player right here. So it seems like there are no tier 5s coming into the Ark of Osiris playing for these guys. Let's hope for them that the team on the other side does not have tier 5s either. At this stage, the other side is a little, not a little, the other side is way ahead, guys. The other side is way ahead. There is a power differential between these two guys that is significant. A difference of about 27 million power, which can mean a lot more troops or a potential tier 5 in the mix. One of the things we've been talking about a lot is what do we do against tier 5s, and the only thing I can tell you about what you should be doing against tier 5s is splitting his attention. The tier 5 player can only be in one place at one time. If you see he ported to the bottom obelisk, then focus your attention on the top side of the map, and so forth and so on. Make him go hunt and make him spend teleports and make him have to march significant marches to actually do damage. Firon, welcome to the stream. Sorry I completely missed you. I'm doing great. This is again the 5th Ark of Osiris we're casting today. We are 42 seconds away from getting into the Ark. I love doing these things. I think we're gonna have a great time seeing more and more Ark of Osirises. We're already seeing changes in the way people play the game. We're seeing people making different strategies and different tactics, and we're very quickly are gonna see alliances countering the big tactics. And very quickly, we will see that within every week that passes, as I am casting every single week, the alliances will have the opportunity on their off week to watch what the alliances on the actual week are doing and start adapting their strategies. So it's really cool that the game is really flexible and you can come up with a cool set of strategies to get going. So let's hop into the Ark of Osiris map, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, Let me open Epic Pen just in case we want to draw on the screen. We'll be able to do that. Let me move him out of your way. And we are looking at the battlefield right here. Blue team is UWOF. So let's update the title really quickly. UWOF. Bam, perfect. They have a 14 million power, 21, a 15-ish. 15-ish. I don't see a tier 5 so far, so that's great news for the red team. It looks like it's gonna be a decently even match, except for the fact that obviously there are some players that are a bit bigger on the blue side, which pretty much means they have more researches done, potentially higher level buildings, and of course more troops. So this is not going to be the easiest battle, but it does seem like they're going to be fighting on an even battlefield. That's right, Alon. This is one more arc. Guys, make sure your alliance mates, make sure your teammates, everyone is watching these streams. Go put this link, put the link on the stream for your in your alliance chats, so your alliances come join us, and keep an eye on the meta, because guys, the strategies are being built, the tactics are going on. Are you streaming the 5 a.m. one? That was 5 a.m. this morning, Alon. There's not another one after this one. This is the last slot. Ista, how you doing, man? Welcome, or woman, I don't know. Welcome back to the stream. I see you there. How you doing? So we got the Ark of Osiris is a point-based game. As you guys have already know, I really don't need to tell you these things. But let me move the camera out of the way so we can draw a little bit on the map. One of the things that we've been seeing that's very common is that teams are dividing into 3 groups. A group that grabs the outposts, a group that grabs the top specialization buildings, and a group that grabs the bottom specialization buildings. Some people do divide into just 2 teams and just grab these along the way. And of course, we know that in the beginning, as the timer goes down, you guys will see very quickly that in terms of the outposts and the obelisks are already ready to be captured. They are 43 seconds away, which is the same timer. And once we finish preparing for war, obelisks and outposts are opening up instantly. Unfortunately, though, you have to wait another 5 minutes for the desert altar, for the Shrine of War, Shrine of Life, and Sky Altar to open up. This leaves you a little bit of a gap in which the idea has to be mobilizing troops forward. A lot of people end up sending their troops into here, into here, into here as part of an attack, but forget that this is a free movement map, which means that you can take a set of troops and literally make it walk all the way here if you so choose. You can stop your troops somewhere in here. You can stop your troops somewhere in here. This is a free walking map. So the first suggestion that we've been saying all streams long is you do want to capture the back line of buildings that open up very early on, but you also want to position your troops a little bit forward so that you can grab the objectives that are closer to you and potentially even sneak up forward. One of the things we've been noticing that's happening a lot lately, and it's worked more often than not, is people are rallying opposite obelisks, doing a 1-minute rally on opposite obelisks very early on. Chris, welcome to the stream. You are just in time as the troops are pouring in. It looks like the red team is doing a combination of fast-moving troops that are going to go instantly to the obelisks and all the good stuff, all the buildings, using the Lancelot Dragon Spear combo, which is a very successful combo. I'm sure that a lot of people use it. This is a little bit more interesting. The Belisarius build is a really, really interesting one because this guy is aiming for the obelisk, but Belisarius' skill requires you to get out of a battle in order to gain the speed ups. So ideally, if Cody really wanted to get this 10% speed, cavalry speed you get from Belisarius, what he should have done is gone for the outpost as quickly as possible, as taking the outpost should be considered a fight. And from there, as he could have already made it to the outpost, jump out to the obelisk and gain that speed. I'm not a huge fan of using Belisarius as a main commander for this type of movement. I think that if you're gonna go ahead and use your Cao Cao to go faster, use your Lancelot, make sure you're using commanders that give you speed 100% of the time, not only during specific situations. For the first time in a long time, the blue team starts off ahead. The blue team, as a matter of fact, has 2 outposts already ahead of the red team, and they are already bringing down their cooldowns substantially. The red team finally catches its first outpost, And with that being said, an obelisk is also taken by the red team. At this stage, based on the buildings right here, it looks like the blue team will start with a 10 points per minute lead, and hopefully the red team will be able to close that gap very quickly and make sure that the blue team doesn't run away with it. But as I say that, an obelisk is taken by the blue team and no response by the red team just yet. And as I mentioned that, the outpost of Seth, the forward outpost is taken. It's really weird that nobody aimed for the closer outpost. It really, I don't understand it. You can make your way to the outpost, and from the outpost take your army out to the obelisk and catch two things at the same time rather than go straight for the obelisk. So I don't really know how much I like that play. I'm still seeing that they're prioritizing the obelisks, and the outpost that is the closest building they can take very quickly is still not taken. As it's finally taken, it looks like the blue team will have a little bit of a head start in terms of the points that they're going to be making, but that's not enough to even start talking about who's doing better or who's doing worse. There's just going to be a little bit of a lead going on in here. Guys, if you guys have participated in your Ark of Osiris this week, leave us a comment in the chat. Let us know how you did, what things you guys noticed, if there's anything cool you guys want me to answer about the Ark of Osiris while we're casting. Is there something you guys want to see? Don't shy away from asking questions. The more, the better, and I'll do my best to incorporate reading the chat while doing the cast. It's much easier for me to read chat once I'm solo rather than doing a duo stream with Chiskel. So when I do a duo stream with Chiskel, what we'll do is probably have a certain period of time in which we just don't look at chat. We just focus on the cast. And then after that, last 20 minutes or something like that, we'll be more focused on chat. New server again. So still no Ark. That makes sense. I mean, you'll get your Ark very soon, as I'm telling you. You'll get your Ark very, very soon. Alright, so as we're waiting, nothing really happens on the map this early on. We can go look if someone made a crazy play to go for an obelisk. There is a blue march heading for the obelisk. This is a solo march, and hope it's just gonna stand here. Who is marching that way? Is that a rally? Is this a rally? Have they rallied the obelisk? That would be really cool to see if they actually managed to rally the obelisk. It doesn't seem like there's a rally walking out of here. Maybe this is... No way. Doesn't seem like there's a rally walking, but they definitely have something marching towards the enemy obelisk, which we've noticed happening very, very much. I think this guy's going for the caravan right here, trying to get a little bit closer to the objective buildings of the red team. As you can see right here, the blue team doing exactly what they need to be doing. They had troops here, bam, capturing the desert altar, just like that. It took a second after the desert altar opened up. Look at this, blue team was super prepared. Both altars instantly taken within the first 3 seconds of them being available, and the Shrine of Life and the Shrine of War. These guys did their homework. They instantly picked up all the buildings. They are going to start gaining a gap. They are going to start gaining a gap, ladies and gentlemen, because it looks like the red team is sleeping on the wheel. The blue team actually went for the forward-facing desert altar, which is closer to the red team. This is actually very, very bad for the red team, because right now they're going to be fighting for a desert altar that is much closer to them. And the sky altar, which is still waiting to be taken, is a much faster walk for the blue team. And once again, the Shrine of Life by the red side is ignored. I think that there's something wrong with the map. There has to be something wrong with the map, because it seems like the Shrine of Life is the last building to always to be taken, which is really, really weird. I don't understand this. I really don't. So they scouted this obelisk. What about the other obelisk? Is it safe? The secondary obelisk is safe. Red team is not marching towards the blue obelisks either. So it looks like the early obelisk push meta has been ignored at this stage, which is completely fine. Except for the fact that at this point, the blue team has a very, very small lead, and the red team tied up in points per minute, but the blue team has 1, 2, 3 altars ticking for them. And once these guys get locked up, the first occupation on 3 altars will be massive, as you get 750 points just by first occupying and holding the desert altar, the altars. So if this desert altar is defended successfully from Mrs. Smith, and it might be, it looks like it is going to be. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of troops in here. If they manage to hold on to all these desert altars, they're going to have an easy head start, as there's going to be what? 750 times 3, that's 2,250 points versus 750 that the red, so that's another about 1,500 points worth of a gap growing. Talk about that, and the fact that once these buildings all finish their cooldown, they'll tick for 150 points each per minute, making this a very hard uphill battle to go to very early on for the red team. This is not the best start for them. Let's go look very briefly at who showed up. It looks like it's a 28 versus 25 situation, which also makes sense. This is a about 9 to 10 different marches. Is attacking players early while they're on the way to the altars an instance of a good move? No, you should not. Fighting in the open field should be something you do towards the end of the arc, once you have secured your victory as an alliance. Your primary objective in early game is to get as many rallies as possible out to as many opposite buildings of the enemy out as quickly as possible. So port in here, and just like these guys are doing, the Shrine of Life was taken by the blue team, which is really insane. The blue team really pushed forward and showed an aggressive stance very early on. Look at the points. This is exactly what I was talking about, because at this stage they are ticking for what, 460 points per minute more. On top of that, they're about to get another first occupation bonus. The red team does get a Sky Altar first occupation bonus, which closes the gap a little bit. Shrine of War will give them a little bit more of a gap closing situation, but unless they can take away this Shrine of Life from the blue team and stop them from getting the first occupation bonus, which will be 400 points, and on top of that take back their Shrine of Life, this war is gonna be very tough. Why, you ask me? Very simple. The Shrine of Life is the building that gives you 25% healing speed, meaning you can heal more troops with the amount of speed ups you have. Now, at this stage, what is happening here is that the blue team owns both the Shrines of Life, meaning they get a 50% bonus. At this stage, if you ask me, the blue team should be consistently healing. So once you have both Shrines of Life, even for a little bit, that's the time where you get your healing going, get your quick heals going, because at this point you're getting the best bang for your buck having both Shrines of Life available. Now it looks like UWOF, someone left the Shrine of Life here. I don't really understand why. Maybe he's trying to bait Maxed out of the fight, and it looks like he managed to bait Maxed quite nicely. The question is whether this guy is actually going to keep moving and baiting Maxed even further out, or he's just going to take the L really quickly to get his Tao back and available for fighting. So it looks like that's the play. He wants to get his Tao back home so he can actually get a proper march going. Looks like Max completely bailed on trying to hit the Shrine of Life, as there is a set of troops that left the Shrine of Life. It is potentially very weak right now for Max to be taken, and Max completely gave up on it, going back home to regroup and figure things out. As we are looking at that, the red team launched a rally on the Desert Altar. This rally seems to be doing decently well. It's a Minamoto versus a Richard, and as you saw, there was a march that was hitting the rally from the outside and then joined the city. That's the correct play to do. The correct play is to join the building, not the city, sorry, and fight inside the building. Why, do you ask? Do you see the damage that's being done on this march right here? This is the counter damage from hitting the rally. Now, the amount of damage a solo march does on a rally is very small, unless you're, of course, tier 5s or something like that. And what you're doing here is you are taking collateral damage, counterattack damage, while the Desert Altar is taking full damage, and now you are joining back the building. What was the point in that? All the troops that were lost to counter damage could have been inside this building and attacking back and taking much less damage. What happened is you pretty much double the amount of damage you take by getting as many counterattacks out as possible on you. So the red team adds Balmer, who's really looking to help out this Desert Altar as much as possible. These marches right here should be focusing on trying to help their Desert Altar hold. The red team is not completely victorious yet. The blue team does take an outpost away from them, and it's the closest outpost to the Ark of Osiris. So that's a little bit worrying, because now they're going to have to go up to the Shrine of War to get their Ark of Osiris delivered. As it seems like the red team has managed to, well, not yet, but will manage to get this Desert Altar out of the blue team's hands, just like that. And now it is time, my friends, to hold. Max, your job right now is to go in here, my friend. Your job right now is to go in here. You got to take these troops and get them into the building so you can defend. Currently, Max seems to be fighting with a full cavalry march against some infantries, which are doing massive amount of damage, and a little bit of archers. All these guys leaving the desert altar is a huge mistake. Fighting on the battlefield, trying to finish off this march, won't do you any good if Mr. C and his march manage to take out the desert altar, because it's too weak, because you guys are fighting here on the side. Generally, open field combat should happen only after you have secured your victory. As you can see, the damage is being done. The damage is being done. Gabriel figured out that what he was doing wrong and came back to support the desert altar. But the damage already was done, and that's a little bit of a misplay by the red team. The blue team picked up the first Ark of Osiris. They are marching back. It doesn't seem like the red team put any interest whatsoever on the Ark. Big mistake, as the Ark delivery would have been what could have potentially saved them, as it would close the big gap that was built by the blue team right now substantially. Even though the red team now are back to taking the other altar, stopping the blue team from bleeding them out, the blue team still has one shrine ahead and one outpost ahead, which means 110 points per minute more. How will the red team react? It's very important. They gotta know that the next Ark must be theirs. They have to know this. If the next Ark is theirs, there is a possibility for them to win, actually, even though it looks grim at this point. DJ Chino, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the stream. 2 minutes ago, I'm sorry I missed you. Thank you, S, for the heads up in the chat. I keep an eye on you guys in the chat, so don't shy away from saying things. You don't have to necessarily only listen to me. I'll do my best to reply to you as we go. So this guy's heading for the outpost. It's a pretty easy ending right here. It's a pretty easy ending right here, as it seems that the blue team will obviously take this Ark of Osiris into their outpost, and that's that. So what do we do at this stage? Look at all these marches, okay? Now, all these marches are going to be focusing on an outpost that's worth 30 points per minute. At the same time, I'm not seeing a red march anywhere into this desert altar. I'm also not seeing any red marches into the sky altar, even though the sky right here is pretty close. I'm not seeing any marches except for this scout going for the Shrine of Life. The red team has focused 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 marches on a 30 point per minute building, and not even attacking the building. They're first of all attacking the battlefield. You know what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here is that the blue team is going to build such a huge lead early on that it will not matter if you guys hold all the buildings, because if they can build a big enough lead, then they can go ahead and start killing things on the battlefield and making their solo points, while you just can't do anything about winning the event. So guys, focus on the event first. We are about to finish out. We're about 18 and a half minutes into this event already, and the blue team is almost 10,000 points ahead. 10,000 points takes 10 minutes if you have all the buildings across the map. So if you have half of the map, it'll take you about 20 minutes to get it done. Now here's the deal. If the blue team also has half of the map, then you're not making more points than they are. At this stage, the red team needs to really figure out how to get more points per minute, and how to get to a point where they're making more points than the blue team, so they can start closing the gap. I'm not gonna call it yet. I think it's premature to call it yet, because there's only like a 300, not even that, a 220 point differential between the two teams. So it is definitely doable for the red team to get back into this game by simply taking one of these altars back and their Shrine of Life. They can end up ahead, or just by taking their Shrine of Life and this, they'll close down the gap to about 90 points per minute, which is very little, and it is doable to come back from that. But the longer they take fighting on the battlefield, while the outpost is not getting hit whatsoever until it finally did get hit. Look at all these red marches half dead. That's priorities, guys. That's priorities. You have to prioritize the points per minute. You have to prioritize the buildings early on. You have to utilize your rallies. You don't need to be a crazy rally leader. If you have a 1 million, 1.1, 1.2 million rally, which a bigger alliance has a few of those players, start sending rallies all across the map. It is time to get buildings back. There is finally a rally hitting the Shrine of Life, a red rally, and on top of that, it is being supported by 3 other marches, as the Shrine of Life will most likely fall back into the red team's hand. This is the time where the red team will be also able to heal and utilize the 25% healing speed for this. So it's going to be, that's a key component. This is a key component. They have to get their Shrine of Life in order. If they get their Shrine of Life in order, then everything will be all right. As we continue looking at this beautiful take by the red team, trying to close the gap, they are fighting for the outpost, but it looks like the blue team is hitting back by taking the Sky Altar away from the red team. And there was only one march in a full altar. This altar is at 150 points per minute. These are the most important buildings in the game. Guys, let me explain to you basic math really quickly. There is 1,180 points on the map. Okay? There is 1,180 points on the map. Now, if you pick up every single building, you get 1,180 points. If you pick up every single building but the 4 altars, you have 580 points per minute, and the guys holding the altars have 600, and therefore holding the altars has to be your top priority. There is a rally marching into the Sky Altar, the forward altar. It marched most likely from this obelisk. There's a huge march time in between. Where are the red team's reinforcements? It looks like the red team went on to try to take out the Shrine of Life from the blue team. It looks like they might be even successful, as the blue team kind of fell asleep on this Shrine of Life. If this march makes it in, it might make it much harder for the red team to get this job done. King Bolin is very, very bold, sending some troops in here. It might not work out for him. It looks like he's doing a substantial more damage, but just the amount of troops in there are too many. And the boost, everything that's going on in here is just very, very rough for a solo hit right now. This was not the worst idea ever, but alone is impossible. We used Discord voice chat last event, which seemed to help a bunch. Chris, Discord voice chat should be almost a must. If you're looking to be a higher level alliance, then Discord voice is the way to go. My guys at Kingdom 58, hi from Kingdom 58, use markers as the blue team is rallying. Oh my goodness, they are rallying the Shrine of War away from the red team. This is where things start snowballing out of control. Discord is a fantastic place where you guys can talk to each other, get a voice channel going, get your leaders to talk, and just let them be able to be dynamic on the map while talking to you guys. Some people are okay with markers. The problem with markers is that people don't notice them. I don't notice when markers change, quite honestly. I don't look at the markers. So, will you play PUBG with me today? Hopefully, Arkle. I have no idea just yet. I've not played PUBG today, period. If I do, then I'll for sure hit you up. It just depends on how the night ends up, because after this stream, I will most likely have to shower, chill for a little bit, and gotta get to bed for work tomorrow. But if everything works out well, we might be able to do a match or two. So the Shrine of Life was occupied by the red team, and officially it is theirs. Way to go. And now it is time to start healing up, because you just gave away to the blue team 5 extra troop attack and 5 extra troop defense. So yeah, you took away their healing power, but now you gave them power to smack back at you. So in terms of who won and who lost in the last like 2-3 minutes of the things that happened, blue team definitely won. Definitely got the bigger end of the stick out of the fights that happened, as they increased their distance from the red team quite substantially. This is now 440 points per minute, and it's still lacking a building that is under the clock, the Shrine of War. Once that happens, they'll get another 80 points per minute more, keep making their gap over 500 points per minute. Is it too late for the red team to come back? Maybe. I'm not comfortable saying yet whether or not the red team will be able to come back or not. It really depends on whether or not they can catch both next arcs, which it doesn't seem like they're vested in whatsoever. I don't see absolutely any sign of the red team caring about picking up the Ark of Osiris. So that answers that one. Here's the thing, right? These guys are fighting on the open field. There's a rally marching towards the desert altar. This guy was not about to have that desert altar rally hit. He just bailed. Gabriel, you literally just bailed on your guys right before a march came in. I'm so confused. Another march walking back. What's the point of these marches walking back? As Gabriel finally realizes and turns around this march, but it might be a little too late. Shredder will help out hold this desert altar, sending another 200,000 troops in, and another 176 are on their way as well. But this rally is just doing massive damage. I don't even think Gabriel will make it back. I don't really think Gabriel will even make it back. And even so, how many of these guys on the battlefield, as things get a little bit laggy, how many of these guys are in this desert altar? I highly doubt any of them are, to be completely honest with you. This is another desert altar loss. And at this stage, I believe we can call it for the blue team. I'm not entirely sure just yet. The red team can still attempt to come back, but there's a long way to go. Yes, of course I made you a mod. You're always here. You're always helpful. You're always doing, like, you're always here, man. Of course you'll get your mod. So desert altar is pretty much on lockdown. Look at how many troops are around this desert altar. They can easily defend it from anything. I don't see the red team pushing enough for buildings. Balmer is once again trying to sneak around. He is doing his sneaking maneuver yet again. He has tried to take, I think it was the Shrine of Life unsuccessfully, but he is trying to sneak in and essentially cause a little bit of confusion to the blue team. So it looks like nobody has noticed him yet, but he's getting a little greedy and he's actually hitting. Oh no, stay in here, exactly. Don't be greedy. Now that you're pushing into this caravan, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 marches right next to you. Are you really going to tell me that these guys are not going to go challenge you? Oh, he realized that now, but he's a bit too forward, too far ahead. You shouldn't have gotten out of this caravan, my friend. This is where you need to be hiding right now. Get yourself into the caravan. Now that you're on the radar, these guys are going to go hunt you down. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 marches potentially. A 5th march right here able to catch you. This is where you back off, my friend. As he uses the caravan to just hop from this side to that side. Gain himself a little bit of ground. Put the caravan in between him and the blue march that's trying to catch him. This is a full mobility cavalry moving all across the map. Just looking for a little bit of things to do, essentially. Another arc is being carried very easily. Whoa, as we crashed. This is very fun. I love crashing in mid-cast. So we were watching until we got rudely interrupted by the crash. Wow. We were watching the unbelievable march that the blue team was making with the Ark of Osiris with no one contesting whatsoever. So we're going to wait for the game to reload. I apologize for the crash. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it, to be completely honest with you guys. Game just crashed. What can I say? So we'll go back into the action, go watch the Ark of Osiris yet again. And the little bit we missed was a couple more steps by the blue team towards their outpost. There was an army or a scout going towards this guy at some point that I saw red arrows, but it looks like it was just a scout. As nothing happens, the blue team will get another 3,000 points and go further ahead in the lead. It is safe to call it at this stage. It is safe to call it for the blue team, as the 10,000 point lead is very substantial. For them to be able to close 10,000 points within 30 minutes would mean that they have to be making a 330 points per minute more for the rest of the game, plus an arc at least. As the blue team picks up more arcs, the gap grows. And now at 15,000 points in 30 minutes means 500 points per minute more than the blue team is making, which means this needs to be pretty much upside down. They need to be taking the whole map, and they need to be taking it as soon as possible if we're considering how fast rallies are going to move, if you're considering how fast marches are going to be moving, if you consider how much time it's going to take to organize all these things. A rally that's going to go out from this obelisk all the way to this altar is pretty quick, but all the way to this altar and then all the way to the Shrine of Life, and then from there to other side as well, it's just a lot of ground to cover for as little time as they have. The red team is rallying back the Desert Altar. They want their Desert Altar back. But looking at the damage inflicted versus the damage given, I see 9,000 points of damage being hit on the Desert Altar, while the rally is taking 14, 12, 13,000 damage. So even if the red team has a little bit more troops, the fact that the blue team is doing a substantial more damage is just crazy. What's up, Nathan? Welcome to the stream. How you doing, my man? Blue has it locked, I think. I think so too. I definitely think so too. I think that at this point, the comeback is not real. They let the blue team run away with the lead a little bit too much. The red team did not focus at all on the Ark whatsoever. And now they're kind of realizing they got to focus their way a little bit more into the Ark area. But the blue team has established such a dominant presence in here that unless the red team really does the same thing, sending a lot of troops fast to get rid of all these blue players, the most likely outcome will be that all these marches will fail to take over the Ark area. And with that being said, another Ark for the blue team, another 3,000 points, and we can definitely see this is going towards a blowout. Yes, Venom. Oof, indeed. Oof, indeed. How you doing, my man? Yeah, at this point, it's pretty clear that blue has it on lockdown. I'll tell you why I think blue has it on lockdown. Union from Kingdom 42, correct, Tino? If you are from any of these alliances or from Kingdom 42, Tino, go post in the global chat, in the kingdom chat of our kingdom that we're streaming live. Your boys beating up our friends from TV from Kingdom 135. Isn't that game called Rise of Civilizations? Icons, Rise of Civilizations is no longer Rise of Civilizations. It is now Rise of Kingdoms. In the next update on the 12th, they're going to change their name. They have changed their name and they're officially Rise of Kingdoms from then on. I just went ahead and swapped because it's going to be sooner rather than later. I might as well get used to calling it Rise of Kingdoms. You can see the new logo on the top left corner of the screen. That's the new logo for Rise of Kingdoms. Pretty cool, isn't it? Honestly, I like it more than the Rise of Civilizations logo, so that's a win-win in my book. It looks like there's not too much going on the battlefield. I'm quite honestly a little bit disappointed. It seems like the red team just weren't ready. The power differential is very important, okay? The fact that the red team has not only more people in here, they have 3 more people in here as all 30 showed up and 27 out of 30 showed up for the red team. That's a substantial difference. That's 9. Well, that should be 6 to 15 march difference, plus minus, depending on what kind of players and troops, what kind of players were supposed to be there. So that amount of marches on the battlefield, plus the fact that they're not really focusing as much as they should be on actual objectives, and they're focusing more on just things like this, battles on the battlefield, just going crazy. It seems like their goal was not necessarily to win the event, but it was more to just get their solo points, and that's that. I think they gave up a little bit too early, and it's a shame, but it does happen. I'm not really saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a learning experience for everyone. I'm sure TV will come back much stronger next time and much more prepared, as the blue team will take away TV's Shrine of Life yet again. And this is where the blue team starts healing up their troops, because now they have a 50% healing speed, unlike previously where they had 25. Well, they're going to wait another couple of minutes and then do that. They also take the closest outpost to the Ark away from the red team. The red team previously had spent a substantial amount of troops and energy on this building, and it looks like that failed. It looks like the blue team took it right back into their hands, and now the question is whether the blue team will be ballsy enough to push and try to get the whole map. Let's go look at where King Bullen is going. King Bullen is going towards the further Desert Altar. Now, we saw one march already going into the Desert Altar. It seems like this Desert Altar will have a lot of defense in it. And on top of that, to make matters worse, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 chasers going after this rally. Marcus, I hope you're not going to be hitting this rally while it marches, because it's going to hurt you very, very badly. Very, very badly. I see Holy bailing out of the Desert Altar. Does it mean that there's not enough people in the Desert Altar? While looking at that, a red rally is also going for the Desert Altar. Here we go, guys. Why have you been waiting so long to do this? This was exactly what we are talking about. What do those caravans, what do you mean what those caravans? Caravans are like resource buildings. You go in them, you gather, you get these points, and then the amount of points you get are based on it's called provisions. So you can get points by just gathering, essentially. They pretty much are just like as gathering tiles, correct? So red team is really focusing on 2 desert altars, which is fantastic. This is what they should be doing. They should be splitting the focus of the blue team. It looks like the blue team is much more vested on the top desert altar than the bottom one, as the bottom one falls short. I don't know if King Bolin will have the ability to take out this altar, as he's being swarmed and he's getting hit hard by the desert altar. Our first Yi Seong-Ye we see on the map. Yi Seong-Ye is one of the best commanders to have on this battlefield, exactly because of the skill he just used. Once Yi Seong-Ye gets enraged, he gets pissed, he sends arrows up in the air, and guess what? 5 people within the radius of your march are gonna get very, very damaged. So instead, King Bolin once again trying to fight here the chasers while his rally fails. Only 4 people in this rally. It's a little bit of a shame, the 4 people in the rally. I'm definitely sure they could have gotten a better turnaround. But the good news is that they at least picked up the Desert Altar back. And it looks like the blue team is much less vested on this side than on the top side, which means that it looks like the red team will be able to probably secure this Desert Altar and make it tick for points for them. As the 720 point difference between these 2 alliances, this is too little, too late. As we end the what would it be, 37th minute of the event, 23 minutes still left to go. Shrine of Life finally occupied by the blue team, which means even more points for the blue team and nothing else for the red team. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get some GGs in the chat, as I believe this is over. Now the real question is, what does the red team do in response? The red team currently has 27 members, and out of them only 2 passed the 10,000 point threshold. Let's see how many passed the 3,000. Hopefully most of them. It looks like 17 out of 27 passed the 3,000 point threshold. All these guys are going to have to wake up and start getting their points. It is very, very clear that they're going to have to start getting their solo points. Only 2 people are maximizing their efficiency, King Bolin and Snifflebutt, who are really going to end up getting the most amount of the best bang for their loss. We have Larson very close to it as well. Max DR is above the 6,000. Guys, once you know game over, it is time to go destroy as many troops as possible and get as many solo points as possible. Honestly, not having troops at the end of the event is completely fine, as long as you are getting yourselves your solo points. If you guys notice the circle right here, that circle was a hidden Cleopatra. Either on this march or on this march, there's a Cleopatra who put down that healing circle, and it healed some of these troops, which allowed them to keep fighting, essentially. So one of these guys is holding a Cleopatra. I don't think it was this guy. It could be this guy too. No, this guy. This guy it was. I only see a Minamoto. It could have been that guy's whatchamacallit, but Max DR really can't. Max R cannot get out of here. Max R cannot get out of here. If he gets out of the Desert Altar, I can bet you whatever you want, the blue team will take it back almost instantly. At this stage, I'm not seeing as many blinking buildings as I should be seeing. I should be seeing a lot of blue buildings, blinky buildings, as the red team tries to take back their territories. It looks like the blue team yet again is carrying the Ark without any issues. This will put them at over 20,000 points ahead. Can you see the player names for UWOF? No, Tino, I can't, because I'm not in UWOF. If I was in UWOF, then I could see their solo points too. I can see my alliance solo points, and I'm currently in Virus Mortis on TV, so I can't really see their solo points, unfortunately. I wish I could, though. If I could, it would be really cool. I really wish the guys of Rise of Civilizations would create an extra like place, an extra viewer thing where I can go spectate any kingdom, any Ark of Osiris I want, and have all the information available. Finally, I'm seeing blinking blue buildings as the Shrine of Life is getting solo marched. It's getting swarmed, and it looks like it will be a successful swarm. On top of that, the Shrine of War is being rallied, and it looks like this rally can potentially make it. If they manage to do enough damage really quickly before these chasers come in. Oh, this is going to be very close. This is going to be very close. This is going to be very close. Oh, and they made it. They just made it in. No. It was so close as the blue marches keep joining the Shrine of War. It still doesn't seem like it's enough as a red. Is this red march joining the rally? What is it doing? Okay, it's just solo attacking too. Cool. You know what's happening here? You see this fan right there? That fan is doing double damage. Not only to the solo march, but also to this rally. All these little chasers are going to do their best to try to do a little damage to the rally, while this guy makes it into the Shrine of War, perhaps. This is what the red team had to do, except 15 minutes ago. Ivan, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Second subscriber of our stream. Bam, joining the beer glass. Blue team taken out of the Shrine of War. Red team trying to take back a few buildings. Unfortunately, my friends, you guys are very, very late. As I'm assuming there's absolutely nobody left in the Shrine of Life, as I see everybody leaving. So it seems like this march, whichever march this is, or any of these marches, can very easily retake the Shrine of Life, which will be a real shame. The red team is fighting back. Although the points differential between them is below 400 points, it's still way, way ahead for the blue team. Yeah, buddy. What can we do? Balmer yet again is trying to sneak his way through. Someone from within the Sky Altar noticed them and started following. Unfortunately for that someone, he's a full infantry. So he's super slow, and Balmer is just able to get away with it. This is a full infantry march holding the Sky Altar. Balmer is just chilling. Balmer is trying to do a backstab right here. Balmer is going for a back caravan, and hopefully from there he's going to go for either an obelisk or, I don't know, any march. It looks like this guy tried to do the same thing very unsuccessfully. If there's nothing in this obelisk, it'll be very, very funny if they can take it out. But it seems like the obelisk is protected. It looks like these guys were aware of the front of the fast rally on obelisk's meta that's been going, well, strategy that's been going on around. It seems like the blue team's swarm and rally here will be successful, taking the desert altar back. This is a problem that is all about how many marches you have and how many troops available you have. Because these guys are pulling troops left and right out of their own buildings to be able to keep playing, rather than sitting in the buildings and defending them. The difference that you see right here in the members, which is 2 members now, as it seems a red member showed up last second. Let's go look at who it is. Careless, our friend Careless literally just joined up, which sucks, but it is what it is. I'm sure he had good reasons, or he's careless, so that can happen too. Here's the deal. Let's say they have 2 people different, two people less, okay, which is what they have. That means that either the 2 people that are left have either 2, 3, 4, or 5 marches. That's 4, 6, 8, or 10 more marches. Those 10 marches are everything in terms of holding buildings. If they have 10 marches and they're able to 10 more marches and they're able to keep them in the buildings, that's potentially what, 2 million troops, extra troops that are in buildings defending. So yeah, we have Manti 2411 subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. If you're on stream, if you're watching a video and randomly subscribed, it will pop up as well. So thank you for subscribing. Our 3rd subscriber of the stream joining the beer glass as well. Blue team taking back the desert altar. Red team locking in the shrine to get a little bit of points. Closes the gap, but then again it opens right back up at 510 points ahead per minute for the blue team, and add another 150 in a minute and a half. I am not seeing any activity by the red team. They tried to take this desert altar unsuccessfully. What about this altar? This altar is being rallied. We are just in time as Careless, our boy Careless, who came in late, is leading a rally. And the alarm is going off. Let's turn that off. Our boy is leading the rally. And while he leads this rally, he is hopefully going to be able to take the Sky Altar. I don't really know what's inside the Sky Altar, but what I can tell you is that if he manages to take it, it'll help him out with his solo points quite substantially. Let's look really quickly what we got going on right here. Can this rally make it? 738 is a little bit of a light rally, as the blue team took the obelisk away from the red team. Oh my goodness. So the red team is now focusing their attention on swarming back their obelisk. If the blue team managed to lock in this obelisk, it'll be very, very bad news bear for the red team, as the blue team will most likely port forward and start fighting. In terms of damage done, it looks like the clear advantage goes to Careless, who's doing a substantial amount of damage more than the actual altar is. And it looks like the altar is getting chunked away, as the Careless's rally is taking damage, but not as much. Unfortunately, even if they do manage to end up taking the Sky Altar, with such little troops holding the Sky Altar, life is going to be very, very tough, and they'll most likely not be able to hold. There's another rally marching by King Bolin. King Bolin is trying his best to lead as many rallies as possible, but even his rally, which was 900 plus troops, is slowly getting chipped away. Even though this rally might make it, I see a couple of chasers coming closer and closer to come to reinforce the Sky Altar. There won't be enough troops left for the red team to really be able to defend the Sky Altar successfully, and I don't see any chasing marches from the red team. There's one right here by Careless, who will not be able to go into the Sky Altar again regardless. So even if the red team takes out the Sky Altar right now, which they won't because there's a lot of blue chasers coming closer and closer, the red team is also counting on King Bolin's rally, which is going to the Shrine of Life. This is going to be a tough fight for them as well. So hopefully these two rallies can get some damage done. Red team is doing their best to take back their Sky Altar. They're trying to stop the bleeding. They have not understood yet that the bleeding has already stopped, because there's no more to bleed, as the blue team has already pretty much won this match. Let's go look back at the solo points, see if everybody's progressing well. Now we have 4 members with over 10,000, which is fantastic news. A lot of members over the 6 now, which is great. We only have still about 20 people above the 3,000 point threshold, so these guys really need to step up and make sure they get their job done. From that one rally being led, our friend Careless went up straight to 5,900 points. So keep in mind that if you're looking for solo points, don't shy away from leading rallies on any targets almost. Just because honestly, leading the rally, being part of a huge fight like the fight that's going on right now, can only give you more solo points, as I am sure Careless will get his 10,000. Maybe he'll get his 10,000. He is 4,000 away and has 12 minutes to do it. That little thing you guys saw, these guys flying fast, it was a little bit of lag, display lag, that corrected itself. It looks like the red team will be successful at taking the Sky Altar. What's going on in the Shrine of Life? The Shrine of Life is also being attacked very hard by the red team, but in here, the situation looks a little more grim. They are doing more damage, which is fantastic. They are doing more damage, but they're also taking a huge amount of damage and have less troops than the troops inside the Shrine of Life. So even though the Shrine of Life's health is going down quite fast, the amount of troops that are in here it should be at least much bigger than the one in the rally at this stage. And if these two chasers start harassing the rally, we might actually see the Shrine of Life being taken away. It looks like Bolin manages to sneak away into an outpost in the back area where the blue team is, and he's still holding it, and he will be able to to hold on to it. It looks like it. The obelisk that was taken away from the red team was instantly taken back. It looks like the Shrine of Life is still going on, and it could potentially be a victory for the red team. Ark of Osiris will appear very soon in 15 seconds. There's 10 minutes and a half for the blue team to march. Hopefully nobody will bother them. They'll be able to get one more arc before the game is over, as they keep reinforcing the Shrine of Life, and man, just taking their hits on King Bolin. The Desert Altar was indeed recovered, but it looks like a lot of marches walked out of the building after it was taken, and just like that, wait, I'm so confused. So there's a solo march here hitting this, and then there's, okay, cool. So It is still ticking down. It looks like the blue march will not be successful at taking this altar, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of troops in here either. Shrine of Life is still going on, still going strong. Blue members joining back into the Shrine of Life. Blue members harassing from the side, the rally hitting. What an unbelievable thing to see unfolding, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like the blue team will be victorious. Well, it doesn't seem the blue team will be victorious. The real question is whether or not the red team can at least pick up half of the map back just to finish a little bit strong. They have most of their buildings back. I don't think the blue team is investing as much as they were early on buildings. I think that they're now investing more in getting their solo points. And as I say that, it looks like there's a rally hitting the bottom Shrine of Life. A lot of open field combat going on out here, as these red marches really need to make their way closer to the Shrine of Life. Help their Shrine of Life out, guys. Help the Shrine of Life. It looks like this is going to be a very close rally, but the blue team is helping their own rally, while the red team is not sending more troops into the Shrine of Life, guys. Come on, man. Gekko, have you seen the red team win this week? Yes, I did. I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Let's go back. We'll go back and look at the VODs in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I have seen the red team win this week. Because a couple of the people that I casted won by a lot, and out of the 5 casts that I did this week, 2 were blue and 3 were reds, and there were definitely more than 2 victories. So that's, my goodness, what a slaughterhouse. What a crazy slaughterhouse. Can the blue team take away the Shrine of Life? Bam! Finally, a red march makes it back into the Shrine of Life to attempt to hold. Max DR is also doing his best to make it into the Shrine of Life, and bam! He's going to make his way in, adding a little more troops into the building. Can Facebutt make his way and actually come into the Shrine of Life and somehow hold it off? S, you have a great night, my man. Have a great... I'll see you sooner rather than later, I guess, in our next stream or on Discord or on Instagram or on the comments in the videos. See you, man. You have a good one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. I appreciate you. Shrine of Life is going to fall as the red team does pick up a very unexpected altar right up here somehow. I'm guessing this altar was unprotected and they just managed to march in, as the blue team is more focused on the Shrine of Life. And just like that, bam, bam, Shrine of Life goes blue. And all these marches with their sad faces walk back home. At this stage, solo points are key. We're gonna go look again at our friends from TV, and I see now that there is 6 members over 10,000. Did we pass the 20? We had 20 previously over the 3,000. Now we have 22. We have 2 or 3 more guys that are very, very close. These guys really need to step it up and get it going. You can see that by being very aggressive and playing, leading rallies and playing the game, what ended up happening is Careless made it as far up as 11,000 points and within 10 minutes. So it's very easy to get your points, guys. You just gotta be actively fighting. And if you don't have the troops, it sucks. That does suck. It does suck indeed. I know. 7 more minutes, about 6 minutes and 45 seconds left for this event. This will conclude the second weekend I cast Ark of Osiris in like a row properly. We're going to have more casts coming up next week, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and smash the like button on the stream as well. I'm going to make a video sometime this week, not only to explain how the Ark of Osiris will work, but also to show you guys a few of the top plays that I've noticed happening in the Ark of Osiris and potentially how to counter them. We're going to talk about top mistakes that I see happening, top best place I see happening, and so forth and so on. A very good video for anyone to build up their strategy further, as the Ark of Osiris will be something very, very dynamic. The meta in here will change a lot. Your rally is definitely in there. I'm pretty sure your rally is definitely in there, Edward. Yeah, Carla, those bam. There you go. So it looks like the red team is still not able to really hold too much. I don't understand the choice of leaving a building mid-fight. I mean, you will be making solo points by sitting here. There's no reason for you to save up your troops. I don't understand the choice of leaving the building. Keep defending it. Get more points going. Like, guys. Get the points going. We need the points. Could you make a full video on My Days Governor someday? Like different stages and tips? Nathan, I'm pretty sure I did. But I can. I for sure can. I'm pretty sure I did, though. I'm not entirely sure whether I did it or I planned it and wrote it and everything and never got it done. When is KVK released? KVK will be released sometime within April. So either from April 1st to April 31st or 30, right? Because it's 30 days in April. So anytime within April, it will be released. We will most likely know more once they announce the actual update that's going to have KVK. I'm assuming it's update 18, by the way. It will be the end game? Not really. I don't think it'll be the end game. I just think it'll be one of the phases of the end game. I think we're going to see continental wars happening as well before the end game, and I think they're gonna keep adding more and more, so we have a lot more to do. I think that thinking that the game will end once KVK starts is something that comes from games like Rise of Kings, I think it's called, or Art of War. I don't remember what the Rise of War. I don't even remember what the name of those games are. That are just mobile game strategy games that once KVK happened, people got slaughtered, 50% left the game, 50% who won stayed, and within 2 turns of that happening, there were only 10% of players left because people just keep quitting from getting zeroed. So I think Rise of Kingdoms will do something to ensure people just don't quit after the end game, in theory, after they do their KVK. I think they will they'll keep it more interesting than that. I think it's too soon for us to know what really the end game will be. Where's this rally marching? It is marching towards the desert altar. 3 minutes left, I think. The blue team did take another, did take a third Ark of Osiris. More war coming, make people fun. Exactly. There will be more wars going on. They'll figure out. I think we're going to have migration coming sooner rather than later. I think we're going to see continental wars going on. I think we're going to see a lot of things. I think that people underestimate this game. Think about it this way. This game I don't think this game even exists a year. I highly doubt it exists a year. So to think that within less than a year, they made it as far as they have so far, and KVK is already on the doorstep. Think about what this game will be 2-3 years from now. And they're not planning on shutting down the game after KVK, my friend. They're planning on having a good game going for many, many years. So yeah. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more cool things happening. I can tell you we are going to see more commanders coming in before the KVK happening. So hopefully we'll get an announcement about that very, very soon. I believe we will. I think that what they'll do is update 18 will be new commanders and update 19 will be the KVK. So I think we'll be seeing update 18 within the beginning of April max, if not in the next 2-3 weeks. And I think we'll see one more update towards the later stage of April, which will have the KVK details and information and all that good stuff. The old server making people leave for new servers. I agree. But now that you know KVK is very close, it's time to go back to the old servers and make sure your big accounts have all the troops you need and all that good stuff going so you can participate in KVK. I mean, your old accounts should still have a lot of things in them. They should be very much ahead of the new jumpers or whatever you made. So this is the time to turn back on those forgotten accounts. As it looks like the desert altar is not going to be taken by King Bolin. This is a very bold attempt, a final push, as the blue team is trying to take back the Shrine of Life. Just a few solo marches hitting this building, nothing serious, just trying to get some solo points. They did take away an obelisk from the red team at the end. Towards the end of this, it looks like it is so laggy that it's barely loading up. It looks like the fights are still happening here and the obelisk is still blue. At this stage, it really means nothing as we are less than a minute to the end of the last Ark of Osiris of this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of casts. It takes a lot of work and effort from me, guys. I'm telling you, I've been doing an hour, 3 hours every day in random hours. I woke up at 5 a.m. last week to do it. I woke up at 10 a.m. this morning to get it done. I skipped work. Don't tell them to get this done. Well, I didn't skip. I took a day off. So if you guys like this kind of content, make sure you're spreading the VODs around for your alliance mates to know what's going on, to be able to be part of these casts And of course, smashing the like button, subscribing to the channel, and all that good stuff. All that's left to say is GG's to the blue team. UWOF, the victorious side of this Ark of Osiris. Unfortunately for our friends at TV, today was not their day. As the timer ends, the things end, and bada boom, the defeat shows up on our screens. Let's go look at the final results to see what's going on. We can see a very, very cool situation, okay? You can see that, later, Edward, thanks for being here. Thanks for having me casting your alliance's Ark of Osiris this week. I appreciate that. I'll see you in the next stream, right? So we can see that the blue team had a little bit more total kills than the red team. So the amounts of troops on the battlefield were not as substantially different. The big thing is that both of them healed at the same rate, which means that the red team was about 1 million and some troops short towards the end. You can see 3 arcs did the job, definitely winning the provisions, definitely winning the occupation score. This was a rough one for our friends at Virus Mortis. Let's go look at how many people ended up getting their solo rewards done. Let's go to our messages and go see how many people got their rewards. So towards the end, I see 7 people over 10,000. Balmer, oh, I feel so bad for Balmer. He was so close and he was doing so much work. Shredder almost, Shredder is also very close. I saw him a lot on the battlefield. I see we have 1, 2, 3 people who did not get rewards at all. Feels bad, man. Look at this. Mendo barely didn't get anything. So provisions. We can't see that thing anymore, can we? Because this is only our own. 9K out of 25 was provisions. They were doing crazy. Tino, I really appreciate what you guys, either you guys or, well, I guess it was TV. Any of you two who had me, I really appreciate you. It was an awesome experience to do. I love casting these things. I love watching this because you never know what'll happen. It looks like King Bolin really did a lot of good work. Balmer was the leader of provisions, which I guess occupation score. Cody was really doing everything. Look at this. Out of 14,000 points on occupation points in the solo points, Cody had an insane amount of those points were from occupation. He was sitting in buildings all day long. Total kills, King Bolin with the more kills, severely wounded units. Sniffle definitely took the ring right there. King Bolin also healed the most. GG's, ladies and gentlemen. Let's drop a GG's in their chat really quickly. Let's go ahead and do that. If the chat will let me work. Yep, chat won't let me work. No. It probably won't happen. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off. I'll send them a message offline from my phone. It's been a pleasure to cast 5 Ark of Osirises this weekend for you guys. All the VODs are available in the channel. There is a playlist for the Ark of Osiris. You guys are welcome to go there and pick whichever one you want to watch. And, of course, watch it and try to learn, try to change your strategies, see how other alliances play. You guys are welcome in the next Ark of Osiris. When you guys know how much power you guys have, you can go into my playlist. And the playlist, which, you know what, I will show it to you very briefly before we go out, we leave. I want to show you that on the playlist, and well, let's go look at this. Let's go look at this very quickly. We're looking at the channel. So, and we go to playlists. And we're going to click here. We don't want to be watching these right now. Well, we'll go view full playlist. Okay. So you guys can see right here when I put it on the screen that the way I've been naming these is that I've been putting the names of the alliances, their kingdoms, and the power of each alliance. So once you guys know how much power your alliance will have in your Ark of Osiris, you can come in here and look for matches that were somewhere where you expect to be. When you see your matchup, you can come here and see how these levels of alliances are playing. So you have a huge list right here. There's going to be a couple of more joining in here that I haven't added yet. This VOD will be here as well. We will be dual casting with Chiskel Gaming, more of these next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff in the description. If you guys want to get casted yourselves in the Discord group down below, open the description. You'll see a Discord group. Go join it. There's an Ark of Osiris section. Let me know that you guys are interested in that Ark of Osiris section, and I will give you guys the correct roles, as there are 2 groups of Ark of Osiris, this week's and next week's. So I've divided them into even weeks, which is this week, and odd weeks, which is next week. This is week 10 of the 2019, in case you guys didn't know. So that's how we did the division. Go into the Discord group, join it, hit me up, let me know that you guys want to get casted, and I'll make sure that once your alliance is closer to their Ark of Osiris, I will make sure you guys know how to sign up. I will make a video about it very, very soon, hopefully this week. Guys, thank you very much for all your continuous support. Thank you to our 3 new subscribers who may have only subscribed from videos and not from the stream. Thank you to our awesome top donors. We have Ish, we have 22, we have a bunch of other awesome people who scroll up above me consistently, who are doing as much as they can to support me, and I really do appreciate that. Although I haven't seen Easy D in some time, I hope he's doing all right, as his name just pops up right above me. Guys, I hope to see you guys sooner rather than later. New video popping out tomorrow. We'll be streaming this week sometime. Hopefully, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll do a proper live stream, not Ark of Osiris. We'll talk about a bunch of other stuff there. Anyway, guys, you guys have a great rest of your weekend, your Sunday. Finish off Sunday strong. Start Monday big. Don't come into that bummed out Monday vibe, guys. Monday is the best day of the week because you're coming out fresh out of a weekend to kill it. You're going to kill it this week. Do not come into work or into school or whatever it is bummed out that it's Monday. Bro, it is Monday. Get your stuff together. Get yourself going early so that towards the end of the week, you can start slacking off a little bit and prepping yourself towards the weekend. Hell yeah. That's what I do. Stay positive. Stay around good people. Stay always ahead of the game, guys. Stay positive. Surround yourself with good people. Don't be a douche. Don't be an ass. Don't be a negative individual around your friends, because all you do is no bueno. Trust me. Stay positive. Stay tuned. Thank you guys again for all your continued support. Thank you for supporting me, supporting this dream. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. I've rambled for too long. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Peace.